Hello, hello, hello. Today we were going over the AMX 30, the Alt Proto AMX 30, the new Tier 8 French medium tank. Well, it says it's a medium tank, but holy crap, this thing goes up to speed. Top speed of 65 kilometers per hour, and it has no problem reaching it. So we are off to a flying start with this tank. But that's just one of the strong points of this tank. The other strong point is the gun in itself. It has 232 pen, so you will pen a lot with AP, and 262 pen with APCR, and a 300 alpha, roughly 8 seconds reload. But what this tank also have is it has a little bit of armor going for itself. As you can probably see, it has a very elongated frontal hull, which is not so armor, it's roughly 60ish, but it has a lot more effective armor when you get into a hull down, where you can utilize its effective effective armor, the steep angle of it. But it also has a good gun mantle. I won't say it's like the most amazing gun mantle ever that's been created, but it's a good one. It's enough for this super person to really question where to shoot me. And he loading some APCR as well, because I don't doubt him. It's a new tank for him, he doesn't know exactly where to shoot. And we have another good thing that works also for this tank. It says it's 11 gun repression. So you can easily peek a lot of cooldowns. And on top of that, your cupola, if you take a look at the turret, it sits in the further back of things. So it's kind of tucked away. It can be quite hard to find it and shoot at it when you are using maximum amount of your gun depression. The gun overall feels quite stable. It feels stable even in this close combat fighting. The gun doesn't bloom out so much of going backward and forward, so you can always sort of maneuver with it. The sniping capability is fine with it as well. It seems like it's just one of those tanks that will work very good. The close resemblance to any tank in the game right now, it's a kind of mix between CS53, yes I know, the garbage CS53, because it has a good pen, but it plays this little bit sniper or laid back, and Lansen C, or Lansen C, because they kind of uses this mobility, the second gun close support kind of fighting. But this thing has a good motion to snipe as well, as you get some few pot shots on long range here. That has the 035 as a standard dispersion, but that won't trickle us down, and unfortunately we missed 2 snipe shots because I talk about getting sniping done. But here again we get to see the second good thing about the tank that I already touched on. Top speed is 65 on this thing. You're gonna keep up with light tanks, you're gonna easily rush up and be first in the front line, and you might not have the most steepest turning circle, but you turn rather quickly anyway. As we get into a little bit of a side scrape duel here with the Pershing, we shouldn't be able to side scrape, but sometimes you get those good angled armors that you can get away with that as well. You have a 12,000. Oh, off with the Pershing's turret. See you. Was not prepared for that. But here comes one of the weaker points of the tank. I mean, it's not super weak. It's 380 base view range, which for me and how the tank feels, you put an optics on it. Otherwise, you don't get full view range. You need to have a bond ventilation to get full view range. And if you really like the tank, why not put it on? But since we are this sniper tank a little bit, oh, really kill him with the HE. 1 hit points is one too much, I would say. Ooh, but if you take a quick look at the map now, it's big lopsided. They have 3 people rushing for a cap. We could go in and cap ourselves and just be done with it. But I'm thinking, I want to get back to base. I want to show off how actually quick this tank is. So we are already top speed. Already top speed. I mean, as a secondary equipment, you might just say, screw the optics, I'm gonna put the turbo on it. And I wouldn't blame you one bit, because you are quick in this thing. You have a gun elevation of 15, so you can point the gun up. It's not a Russian gun where you have like 30 on some and then you can point it almost straight up. But it's enough, the 15. So the view range would be something that you will always combat with, but if you like me, you put the optics, rammer and vertical stabilizer on it. And should have waited a little bit longer there. But the weak point in the turret, as I only dabbed and run up a little bit, it's just around the gun and the gun mantle is a weak point. So if you aim the gun mantle, you're gonna have a hard time penning. But if you aim around it, you're gonna have a much easier time. I think it was 160 or something like that. It seems kind of low, but when you get into hull down and you get to move left, right, you should be quite fine. Oh, I'll sneak in a quick one there on Sandro here, the I6 in front of us. Last man alive. Oh, need to get the track. Stop a little bit too far off. Can we side script? Nah, pop my fuel tank. That I also noticed. A big thing is that you have fuel tank in the front of the thing. So in the lower plate. So there might be a big hidden fire in the front of it. But that's it. Let's go into the post game and then garage. We scored a 4,841 damage, 994 spotting damage, and we did 4 kills there. We managed to get an ace tanker, but it's a new tank, it's one of the first few battles. The ace is kinda low, always will be, but I think the XP will show you why it's still a fine battle with the 1,690 base XP. That was pretty good. We got a defender and a high caliber on top of that. We earned a whopping 164,000 credits. Now that might spike some interest that this tank is amazing in the credit department, but take it with a grain of salt. It's the first few battles. I can't remember if I had a booster on or not. But anyway, let's go into the garage to reduce a bit. And for the super boring garage department, as I do the recording of this video, I'm in the transition where Wargaming removed it from my press account and I don't have it on my normal account, so we are gonna do a little bit special here. We're gonna, like always, go over the crew, the equipment, the consumables and ammunition, and then field modification. Well, it's a 4-man crew. We have some modules here, blah 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 blah. We don't really need to care too much. We have an overview, we make extra credits. Alright, good, great, thanks. Alright, let's go check out some tanks. Configure. And here we go, and we have the AMX 30, the cream of the cream. And the commander is the radio operator. So for the commander, we pick Brothers in Arms, Recon. No, wait. Situation. No. Sixth Sense. And then we pick Situation Awareness, Recon, and Repair. Repair as the last one, actually, because we want to get up this view range even more. We can cheat a little bit, and I'm always going to pick food on my tank. So we're getting close to that full view range, which is the important. For the gunner, it's like always, Brothers in Arms, Snapshot, and then it differs a little bit. Then we want to have a Repair, and then Camo, because Camo is going to play a big dividend for this tank. And the last crew skills for the gunner, it could be, I don't think you pick Armorer. You might pick Armorer, the one that helps the gun be more stable, have a better accuracy when it's damaged. But we have a field modification that helps with that, so I don't know. I think firefighting might be better. For the driver, Brothers in Arms like always, but we go with Smooth Ride, and then we pick the off-road driving. That, I think, is going to be quite dividend for this tank. Even though we pick up speed quite easily, I think just having this is allowing us to be a little bit better turning and a little bit easier to even pick up that pace to become to achieve our top speed. And after that, we want to have the Repair, because we're always going to be close up and personal a lot of times, but some sniping. And the 5th one, we pick the Concealment. For the loader, It's like always, brothers in arms. And then I would pick intuition. Not that the HE is amazing on this tank, but just that it's kinda nifty and good to have. You can change out the intuition and say, nah, I don't need that to change my ammo. I usually don't use so much HE and don't go for those situational shots that HE can sometimes brings out. So then it would be easy. Brothers in arms, save stowage. Okay, save stowage. Oh, if I go back to the driver, maybe maintenance preventance, maybe because the fuel tank can be popped from the frontal, which can be a problem. So maybe we check in on that. But that is something that I will do more testing when I get my hands on the tank. But anyway, back to the loader. Brothers in arms, save stowage, repair, concealment, firefighting. And now we go in for the equipment of the tank. And I'll say one build is gonna be straightforward, that I think is universally gonna be used on this tank. Let me switch them around. This is just so we can get that full spotting. You see, oh, already, maybe we don't need to take these two even. But they add up quite a lot, as you can see, 445, 460, and 471. So we break the camo value even more. And with the field modification, we're gonna boost it up even further. The second one I was thinking is that we dump this one and, oh no, we don't dump this one, but we change it to turbo and then we pick this thing just so we can get that very high top speed on this tank, and I think you can easily bring it out. So this could be a secondary build. We don't get the full view range though, but it's more for the build that we want to move around quickly with. And we don't really look for the view range. Maybe a Himmelsdorf, something like that. But universally, I think this is the equipment we want to use. For the shells, I mean, you do have a 50 HE pen, but 263 here, that is pretty nice. That is pretty nice actually. And 232 is good for the French tank. Shell velocity 1000 and 1250 on the APCR. And yeah, you have around 50 shells, so it's gonna be hard to run out of shells. You might say, screw the coffee, because we want to have the fire extinguisher. And you do have to mind yourself, the fuel tank does get popped in the lower plate in the front, so maybe. But I'll still take strong coffee over that every day of the week. Let's go into the field modification. And here we have this one. It's a little bit slower with the turning, but it helps when we get damage in the gun and the ammo rack and such. And then we want to have a slightly smaller circle, even though it don't pop down one pip here, we still are good to go. And here we're gonna pick something I normally don't pick. We're gonna pick the extra concealment because we are still above 20 kilometers in reverse, and we get a 3% engine power. So this hull traverse is gonna be kind of negated by the permanent bonus we get, and this is just for the raw speed, so it's just really good. Let's apply that. So this would be my tank if I would have to build it right now. Oh, I forgot. We have to pick one bonus here, and there is no build. I think survivability is what you want to have on this. So we go with full view range. We have a whooping of 477 when we have a fully kitted out crew. We can go over the firepower as well. As you can see, we have 8 seconds reload. You might be a little bit off with the DPM, but we have to consider how the tank will operate. It will operate as a secondary support and also sniper role. So this reload might not be super sort of bad on the alpha that it has. So you have a 2228 when everything is maxed out, but you say, you know, 2200, 2150 or something like that is DPM wise. The tank is moderately fast, and you do have this turret armor 150, which is just centered on the big gun mantle of yours. As you can see, this whole area here, and it kind of skews. You kind of don't see where the gun mantle ends and begins. Because this, actually here you see kind of the turret, but here is the gun mantle. So this kind of leather cloth around the tank is kind of hiding where the weak point is. Because if you look at it, you don't really see where the turret ends and the gun mantle begins. So you have to really be careful for that. And this is also a weak point, the turret ring. But if you're kind of fast and you're moving around and you surprise a lot of times, you don't sit still and let them aim, oh, it's going to be tough to pen. Considering they will see most often a Huldan tank peeking. But anyway, that was my little review of the AMX 30. It was a little bit different. Don't have to show it in the garage here, but wargaming kind of caught me off guard here. I was doing the video very late, so I have to say that. Overall, I think this tank is pretty nice, actually. I'm probably gonna like it. It's gonna feel like this Lansen, but improved Lansen-serie type of tank. Because you have the armor, and you have a little bit more speed, which was the Lansen kind of thing. Was that, oh, it has RNG armor, but super RNG armor. Well, this one has more reliant armor, but also super RNG at the same time. With, you know, more bounces and such. And it's quicker. It's quick, this tank, and it got a lot of Huldan, so this is going to be very interesting to get around on the battlefield. But anyway, I hope you liked my little review of the AMX 30. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out of here.